Hi, Pineview Panthers. This is Mrs. Grills. I just wanted to check in and take a couple minutes to show you how to find your lesson content in the distance learning courses for math. We noticed when looking at some information that you guys were maybe making your way all the way to the quizzes that are posted after the lesson, and you weren't completing the lesson portion within the module, and that was going to make the quizzes kind of hard. So we wanted to make sure that you knew where to find the lesson content and how to go through that and navigate through that. But also, we do know that today there was some difficulty with getting the lesson material to kind of load up, and so I think some of you made your way to the quizzes there. So please go back and revisit that after I show you how to get there. At the top here are just announcements, but if you scroll down through this course information and how to contact the teacher and all these good reminders, you can click Start Here. That will take you to the modules page, or I'm going to scroll back up, and if I click right over here to modules, that's kind of where I go each day to get started. At the top here, you'll see a welcome and introduction module. Those are just filled with good information of just kind of how to use My Learning or Canvas, as well as this how-to section. Those are probably going to be found in each one of your courses. You don't need to do each of them in every single course. It's also just kind of more there as a reference. Where you're going to want to go each week is right here, where it gives you the breakdown of what you need to do in the week. So this is week 1. Where you see these chain link kind of icons, that is a lesson that you need to complete. And then the rocket ships, those are some kind of an assignment that you have to submit or activity you have to submit. In this case, they're both quizzes. So for this week, you have 2 lessons, GCF and LCM, which is greatest common factor and least common multiple, and positive and negative integers. Those are 2 lessons and then a quiz for each one. So if I click right here on that, it's going to take me to the lesson. This is probably where a lot of you kind of got stuck today as you tried to log in on the first day. The background for a lot of people stayed white, or maybe just loaded this kind of green background, but you did not get the information. Hopefully that's working now and you can go back and look at that. I really want to draw your attention to some things here at the top. It's very important that you use the arrows up here at the very top right corner to navigate through the lesson. You will see it says 1 of 7. That means that this lesson has 7 pages or 7 screens that you should go through. And then these arrows right here can take you through those pages. It's very important that you use those arrows so that you see each page within the lesson. Also, you will see at the top here some tools. There's a notes page, glossary. It's where you can print some things. So there's some other tools there. If I scroll down, usually the first screen has just the objectives. You do not want to click this next because that takes you to the quiz. You're going to go back to the top after you scroll down and go to the next page within the lesson. Here you'll get some more information. A lot of the pages of the lesson do have these exploration or practice type boxes where you can practice the learning that you're going through. As you get towards kind of the end of the lesson, you'll see that there's a lot more. Some of these have little drop downs. If you see an arrow or this kind of maroon color, it's usually something you can click on. So those all are just kind of interactive places you can go and places to gain more information. Here's another kind of a practice screen. Actually, no, that one I think is a video. And as you continue through, when you get kind of towards the end, it does have a pretty good practice to kind of get you ready for the end of that lesson. So this practice is a good way to kind of prep yourself for what's coming up on the quiz. The last screen on most of the lessons that I have seen revisits the lesson objectives. It gives you a list of the vocabulary in that lesson and a summary. These are great, kind of similar to what we would have had in our textbook when we got to those lesson summaries. But if you scroll to the very bottom kind of portion here, you'll see this red link that says Lesson Review Guide. If you click on that, it does give you a nice review of the lesson. You could print this out and have this with you, put it in a notebook, or if you're like me, I ended up kind of taking my own notes during the time that I was working. So now you can see if you scroll to the top that you've completed all 7 pages of the lesson. That's when you'll want to go all the way to the bottom of the My Learning page and click the next button, and that will take you to the quiz. So you'll have 2 sections just like that you will do this week. That was the first one. You would take the quiz here. If you've already taken this quiz and you did not score well, maybe because you rushed through the content or the content was not working in the lesson, you'll see right here that you do have more than 1 attempt allowed. So I would strongly encourage you to go back, work your way through the lesson, take notes, reach out to myself or Mrs. Brown or Mrs. Spieler with any questions that you might have, and then retake that quiz so that you can improve your score. And of course, if you have any questions that come up as you're working, feel free to let us know. Thank you.